Welcome to The Explainer. Now, OpenAI, it seems like an unstoppable force, right? The titan leading the AI revolution. But what if that's only half the story? Today, we're going to break down an analysis that tells a much riskier story about the company's future. And that really brings us to the big question. I mean, on the surface, OpenAI looks like an empire in the making. But when you look closer, some are arguing that its entire strategy is this massive, high-stakes gamble. It's basically a race to become so essential that we just can't let it fail. Okay, let's dive into this, because this is the core idea. The argument is that OpenAI isn't just building cool products. No, they're strategically trying to weave themselves into the very fabric of our economy, to create their own safety net. So what does that actually mean? Well, the strategy is pretty simple, really. You make yourself so indispensable to consumers, to big businesses, even to the government, that if your company starts to wobble, your collapse would risk taking a huge part of the economy down with you. And the end game? You force a government bailout, even if your own finances don't really justify the huge investments people made. You know, what's really fascinating here is the parallel this draws. Remember the 2008 banking crisis? The big lesson wasn't just that the banks were too big, it was that they were too interconnected. And the fear is that we're seeing that same kind of web being built right now in tech, with OpenAI right in the middle of it. But, this whole plan doesn't exist in a bubble, so let's turn to the immense pressure OpenAI is facing. And it's coming from two very different and very, very powerful rivals. First up, the enterprise market. This is where the big money is. And a recent report from Menlo Ventures just dropped a bombshell. Anthropic has, kind of shockingly, overtaken OpenAI. They've grabbed nearly a third of the enterprise usage. Now, to put that in perspective for you, just 2 years ago, OpenAI had half of this market. Today, that share's been cut in half, all the way down to just 25%. And while they're fighting off Anthropic for those big business clients, on the consumer side, they are up against an absolute giant. Google pulled in a staggering $100 billion in its last quarter alone. With that kind of cash, Google can afford to keep its AI prices super low pretty much forever, which puts just immense pressure on OpenAI's main way of making money. So, here's the bottom line. OpenAI is being squeezed from both sides. It's losing ground to a more focused rival, Anthropic, in that profitable enterprise space, and at the same time, it's battling a resource-flush behemoth, Google, in the massive consumer space. It's a classic two-front war. All right, let's shift gears and look inside OpenAI's own walls, because things get complicated. It seems to center on some fundamental questions about its leadership and what you might call a crisis of candor. This all just exploded into public view during that now infamous leadership coup in late 2023. I mean, the board's official statement for firing CEO Sam Altman was incredibly blunt. They directly questioned his honesty and basically said they had no confidence in his leadership. And these weren't just some vague concerns. In a legal deposition, OpenAI's own co-founder and former chief scientist, Ilya Sutskever, alleged a deliberate and consistent pattern of manipulative behavior from Altman. I mean, that's a heavy accusation from someone on the inside. And it's not an isolated incident. You start to see a real pattern of concern from the people who have worked closest with him. From his former CTO to the founders of their biggest rival, Anthropic, who, remember, left OpenAI to start it, multiple top execs have voiced some serious reservations about Altman's leadership style and his trustworthiness. Okay, finally, let's peel back that last layer and look at the huge contrast between OpenAI's public image and its financial reality. Because this is where the hype runs headfirst into the hard numbers. This moment from a podcast is, it's very telling. An investor asked him how OpenAI could possibly justify over $1.4 trillion in spending commitments. And Altman's response? It wasn't an explanation. It was a dismissive challenge. So behind all that hype, the numbers are genuinely unsettling. Financial analysis of Microsoft's latest earnings report revealed something almost unbelievable. OpenAI lost $12 billion, not in a year, in a single quarter. This one slide really captures the core conflict here. On one side, you've got the hype train, unbelievable revenue growth, talk of trillion-dollar valuations. But then you look at the other side of the ledger. You see staggering quarterly losses and spending commitments that are more than 100 times its current revenue. It just doesn't add up. So this leaves us with the ultimate question hanging over OpenAI's future. It's a race against time, really, between two powerful forces. Its push to become economically essential and its astronomical burn rate. The real question isn't if one of these forces will win out, but which one is going to win first.